In a vast comic book landscape filled with iconic heroes like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, there are also many lesser known characters whose stories flicker briefly before vanishing into obscurity. One such character is Centrix, a unique and largely overlooked superhero introduced during a period of reinvention and expansion in the DC universe. First appearing in Justice League Quarterly number 17 in 1994, Centrix was part of the Global Guardians, a team that brought international diversity to the world of DC superheroes. Though his time in the spotlight was brief, Centrix represents a bold, if underdeveloped, attempt to broaden the superhero genre's geographical and philosophical scope. Centrix, whose real name is Mark Armstrong, hails from Canada and is imbued with powers that set him apart from traditional brawlers and gadget wielders. His abilities are centered around kinetic force. He can project vibrational energy from his body, creating powerful concussive blasts and shockwaves. This focus on kinetic manipulation ties into his namesake. Centrix is derived from center or centrifugal, symbolizing both balance and impact. He doesn't just attack, he redirects, repels, and balances, often working as a buffer between chaotic forces. His costume, designed with a maple leaf motif and bright red and white palette, reinforced his Canadian identity and his role as a peacekeeping force in global affairs. Centrix's introduction into the DC universe came at a time when the Global Guardians, originally created to showcase a more international coalition of heroes, were struggling to maintain relevance. The Justice League had undergone multiple reboots, and the 1990s saw a flood of new characters with edgier aesthetics and updated powers. In this environment, Centrix's calm demeanor and strategic use of kinetic energy felt almost quaint. He was never meant to be a gritty anti-hero. He represented balance, harmony, and calculated force, a kind of spiritual opposite to more impulsive characters like Guy Gardner or Booster Gold. Although he appeared in only a handful of issues, Centrix was shown to be a capable and dedicated hero. His alignment with the Global Guardians placed him alongside other international champions like Tasmanian Devil, Thunderlord, and Rising Sun. The group's purpose was noble, to address global threats without the dominance of American superheroes, but it often fell victim to poor writing, inconsistent appearances, and a lack of long-term narrative planning. As a result, Centrix never got the chance to evolve beyond his origin story or display the full extent of his powers and personality. What little we know about Mark Armstrong paints him as an individual who believed in using force only when necessary, preferring to neutralize conflict rather than escalate it. This pacifistic core, paired with his energy-based abilities, made him a potentially fascinating character, especially in stories dealing with diplomacy, mediation, or metaphysical themes. However, in an era dominated by loud, visually aggressive heroes, Centrix's more restrained presence failed to capture mainstream attention. His last known appearances involved occasional team-ups and brief references within stories involving the Global Guardians. Over time, as the DC Universe underwent multiple reboots and timeline shifts, including Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, and the New 52, Centrix faded into comic book limbo. Unlike some obscure characters who find second life through nostalgia-driven revivals, Centrix has yet to receive a proper reintroduction or reinvention. But his thematic premise, balancing energy, defending peace, and representing Canada on the superhero stage, still holds potential in today's diverse and inclusive storytelling climate. In the modern DC landscape, there's a renewed appetite for exploring global heroes and supernatural power sources beyond traditional origin models. A character like Centrix could thrive in a series that dives into geopolitics, spiritual energy, or the science of vibration and force. His kinetic powers lend themselves to dynamic visuals, and his balanced worldview could provide a much-needed counterpoint to the emotional extremes often seen in superhero conflicts. For now, Centrix remains one of the unsung champions of the DC universe, a symbol of unrealized potential and quiet strength waiting to be rediscovered.